hardly, so that really set us up for the big fire year last year. So the biggest thing is the Southwest is already started asking for resources, already started burning. Durango, Colorado, those type of things. We have resources already down in Oklahoma and Missouri helping out down there. So we'll probably see a lot of our resources go down there early on, down to the Southwest, down to the South, which will pull a lot of resources out of here. But as the monsoonal flow comes back to the Southwest, we'll get our resources back. So that's kind of how we're sitting up. So, and then these are just the handouts. You guys can read it, whatever kind of does, as you guys are well aware, what the snowpack is and fire potential and stuff. But we're also working with Ed, trying to get a meeting. The DNRC had hired on a aquatic invasive specialist to deal with firefighting resources. And so we're looking at a spring meeting with those individuals, working also with FWP, the bureau chief. We worked a little bit with Tom about invasives and how we did with aviation resources, dipping out of Canyon Ferry in the Missouri River Corridor, and up by Tiber with the Rocky Mountain front. But we're working with them on how we make sure that at least our resources are coming in clean and leaving decontaminated from these waters. So, and we'll be working with all our volunteer fire departments and the rural fire departments on, so that we can be across borders. You know, the last year was a little, it was new to a lot of folks coming into the region, or coming in from out of region into this area. So I think we have a little stronger kind of protocol, especially across boundaries with all the other agencies. So we'll be working with Ed on those pieces. And I'll leave that with you guys too, of what is our protocol for at least how we deal with the mussels. So but from that standpoint, yeah, we'll be hopefully letting you guys know or letting the county know when we are burning and everything else. So.
Thank you.
Yep.
My next going down the line here.
Certainly.
Just heads up, the county will be receiving an official notification sometime here in the next few weeks, but we are looking at terminating our mosquito MOU with Broadwater County. We just decided in the best interest of everybody moving forward, for it worked better for the department, FWP, to work directly with any mosquito control contractor for mosquito control on the Canyon Ferry WMA. So we'll be putting that contract out for bid sometime here in the next few weeks or whatever and stuff like that. So, but like I said, you should be getting a official letter from somebody up in Helena. I'm not sure who will be signing it, but just the heads up on that. Appreciate all the years working with the county, and obviously we'll still kind of coordinating and everything like that, but we just felt it'd be a lot easier to kind of take the county out as the middleman and just work directly with them and everything like that. So seen an email just in regard to, and I don't know, Lee may actually touch on this a little bit more, but in regard to AIS check stations, it looks like those will be starting around the 5th of May at various sites around Canyon Ferry, Silos, Goose Bay, Hellgate, a couple of other sites. So those will be getting going a little bit later than last year, but it'll also time a little bit better as water starts to warm up. And I guess we'll see what happens with the spring, whether the water temperature does warm up much for here for a while. Another thing, Pond 4, technicians are out looking at it. Looks like we achieved at least some level of carp kill in the ponds, which is what we're targeting. We'll know a little bit more as the ice starts to come off and everything like that, but it does look like we do have some dead carp. We were able to get oxygen levels low enough, and hopefully the longer the ice stays on, the better kill we'll get. Obviously as spring starts coming in, as reservoir levels start coming up, we'll start refilling that pond as late spring and summer progresses and everything like that. So otherwise that's really about all I've got and everything. So.
Thank you. Oh, one question, Adam, do you know if, are they gonna have the same number of check stations, cleaning stations?
Yeah, I know they, like say, from the news release I saw, it looks like there's gonna be one at Silos, Goose Bay, Hellgate, the BOR Visitor Center, and then somewhere Highway 12 up along Helena, around Helena.
That's outside, it's gonna be 4 around the reservoir, but wherever else they put one up, I don't know.
Yeah, and everything like that, so.
Any luck in getting the name changed from decontamination to cleaning?
What's that?
Any luck getting the decontamination name changed to cleaning?
Yeah, I don't, I'm not involved with that at all or anything like that, so, yeah, I don't know what's happening from the, on that end or anything like that. But the only thing I know is when they sent out a press release or something like that, I happened to catch, which in this case I did and everything like that, so, and stuff, so.
Very nice. I'm Scott Haight from BLM, for those of you that don't know me. Work out of the Butte office. I got contacted by Representative Kelly Flynn, and then we got an email from John Hedstrom. It sounds like they're interested in acquiring 10 acres of BLM land out there by Silos Road and, is it Cactus Lane? For a search and rescue station, fire station, that type of facility. And I think what I wanted to make sure you guys knew was that there is a way for the county to lease that at little to no cost for facilities such as that under the Recreation and Public Purposes Act. And that's probably the best vehicle if they're interested in building that facility out there on public land. We can arrange to have that leased to the county and eventually patented over to the county if they so desire. So, got all sorts of information on that. If you're interested, I'm not sure where you're at in that process, how far you want to push that, but we can. It takes a while, so it wouldn't hurt to get the ball rolling if you're thinking that's the way you want.
That would be out of that, I assume that 10 acres would come out of that 640 that's immediately south of the Silo subdivision, is that where they're
Right.
talking about?
That's what my understanding, right there in the northeast corner of section, I think it's 34 there.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got that going on. We can work with you on that. A couple other things real quick. We are almost ready with the Indian Creek Forage Reserve grazing allotment to lease that for other projects if people, in the area want to move cattle off of an allotment for a veg treatment. That forage reserve is set up to accept those cattle. So that's an application by application process, and we're ready to consider those applications. Limestone Hills training area, we've got an implementation agreement that's supposedly being reviewed and ready to be signed by the Department of Army. I'm told there's 10 levels of review in the Department of Army, so I'm not looking to get that anytime soon, but that's what's going on. And then they came in and visited with us the other day about an aerial gunnery range that they're talking about setting up out there, so that may be something a little different. I think we're just getting ready to do an environmental assessment and put that out, to the public when the time's right, so we may see something about that. Last year we built 2 trailheads, one out at the end of White Horse Lane and one up by the Iron Mask old mine site. So those have been installed and there's a fence around them, and we're gonna put kiosks up this year, so those are gonna be ready for use. Well, you could use them now, for that matter. And then we finished reclamation on the old historic Iron Mask mine last year, so that's looking pretty good. Other than that, that's about all I have. Do you have any questions, comments, concerns? Oh, Copper City, I guess they're gonna continue with using volunteers this year to construct the next loop in that trail system out there, mountain bike trail systems.
I hear it's pretty heavily used.
Yeah, it's getting some attention.
All right. Hey Scott, what more can you tell us about the aerial gunnery range? Is that going to affect any of our private pilots? Is there a no-fly zone that will be expanded? Do you know any of those details?
I've been told it's gonna involve airspace restrictions. I don't know any more than that, how long that would be, what those levels are. But I think that's the underlying purpose of the environmental assessment. It's being done by the Air Force and the FAA. So there may be some, I guess, stay tuned is kind of a response to that. There's more
You didn't know when that was gonna be released, did you, Scott?
I do not have a release date on that. it's already secondhand information when it gets to me, so.
We just met with some of the National Guard folks this morning, and I asked them about that, and they said they're thinking it's probably gonna be about 3 years for the EIS, for that to come, what they were thinking by the time they got it to where they could actually implement, is what they were talking about this morning in pieces, and so, yeah, that's kind of what they knew about it.
Did they say EIS?
They did say EIS, the Air Force is upfronting the money right now for it, for that EIS. They said it right now that the pilots out of Maelstrom, who are the gunners over the nuclear weapons up there, the nukes up there, is, right now they're going all the way to Wyoming and they have to stay overnight there, and this would allow them to do it on one tank of fuel. And to be able to come down here, and it would only, I asked them if they'd expand the impact area, and they said no, they'd only be restricted to that impact area where they could shoot, is what they're being told, at least. Major McCrum and stuff, and I get the new lieutenant colonel who's over the training center is gonna be down here tomorrow. We're gonna try to meet up with him, he's brand new, to the training area, so.
Those details are good to have, thank you.
Yes. Pardon me? You have to go.
All right, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Lee Holmes from Bureau of Reclamation. This is Dan Strenka, also from Reclamation. He's our facility manager. Got a few items here. Right now, we got Hellgate Campground, the camp loops at White Earth, and also on up here Indian Road, taped off to waiting for the thaw, waiting for everything the ground to re-solidify. Because people get in there, it's going to make a bunch of ruts and a big mess. So we've done that. Mussel inspection stations, once again, like Adam pointed out, visitor center, Hellgate, Goose Bay silos. We are going to relocate the ones visitor center's going to stay there. We're going to try to work with SWP to put another entrance in there. If you guys haven't been up there, there's only one entrance in there. It goes in there, loops around. We're going to try to put another entrance in to make it easier for people to pull their boats in there, campers, boats, and all that. Silos, we're going to relocate it. We're just going to, it's going to be right just east of the airport runway there, and kind of between that and that tillings pile, or dredgings pile that they have up there. Gonna try to get a road grader in there, some gravel, give them 2 lanes in there coming out. So we'll be on reclamation property this year. Everybody's having to lease out somebody's lot up there to do it. And it catches everybody, it pretty much catches everybody, where you can at least see everybody leaving that whole campground from there. And they'll see it though, I'm sure they'll pull in there. With that, we have opened up, talking with FWP, they have opened up Shannon Boat Ramp up north there to all boaters. Last year it was a local boater, but there was some issues that came up with out of area people camping up there in the north end wanting to launch a boat there, but they couldn't because they didn't have a local boater sticker, so they'll just be trained, they'll just be told if you get done recovering your boat, or when you get done recovering your boat, you gotta pass that inspection station anyway, you gotta pull in there. So, communication with them. Adam, we're gonna have to talk a bit, but there will be some ice damaged areas, I know, in probably Indian Road and some of the WMA. It's gonna take a while to let everything solidify so we can get in there and look around. I know there's already one canal on the east side that got beat up pretty hard. I'm sure there's other areas.
Yeah, we'll probably have some erosion, quite a significant amount of erosion, I imagine, on the west side of the canal, so.
Yeah, we're expecting that. I have a couple of questions. For the commissioners, the Goose Bay Road flat project to pave it, is that, when are we looking at starting that? Do you know?
The last I heard from Sean was it was a year down. Let's see, what was the schedule for 18, now it's for 19, or anyways, it's down a year.
I heard FY 19, I didn't know if we're gonna try to start it in October or November.
Oh, yeah, I
Try to
don't know
wait
that
for next
part.
year.
But
Okay.
it's,
And we had come up with an issue over there at Goose Bay. Is there a chance, I don't know who to contact, that's why I'm asking, we could have a cattle guard installed in that road? Down there all the way at the first 90, when you're going in there, first 90, when you take that first 90 to the left, we're gonna see if we can get a cattle guard put in there. If they're gonna pave it, best time to put a cattle guard in is when they're doing a construction. Is that a possibility?
We can definitely talk to our road supervisor about
Yeah.
that.
I
And have
think,
him coordinate with you where.
yeah, that was put in, or that was suggested from the get-go on this, I guess somewhere it got dropped, left hand, not talking right hand or whatever, I don't know. But, yeah, we can definitely like to get a cattle guard in there.
cattle guard's going after the turn to the,
Yeah,
East?
after the turn to the east, I guess, yeah. Just after that turn, if you're heading in there, just after that left turn there, put it right there. I think there's a fence, well, you got the fence going down there, and you got the one going on, you know, towards the east.
I don't think there's a fence right in there, is there? Isn't the fence,
There is on the northeast side there, to the north of it.
oh, okay, well.
You got the fence going, what happens is, cattle beat down that fence there, and then they end up going into Goose Bay. And we don't want the cattle back here, at least not in camping areas. That's why we want to put it in there. All of our other campgrounds have them, except Goose Bay. And so we'd like to, what are we gonna do, coordinate with you guys and, get one put in there.
I just can't figure the spot, this doesn't seem, anyway,
Well, we can get with you at a later date, with all three of you, or just one or two of you, and we can go out there and look at it and look it over and, figure out exactly where we wanna put it.
And coordinate with our road supervisor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Adam, you don't have any word on that boat ramp they wanna put in over here at Indian Road, do you? Do you know where they're at with that, fisheries or
What's that?
the boat ramp they're wanting to put in over here at Indian Road?
Yeah, no.
Okay, that's fine. And have you been, by chance, been back Cottonwood?
What's that?
Have you been back by Cottonwood Campground at all?
Whether you can get in there?
No, yeah, have you been back here just to look to see?
Yeah,
everything?
I don't know if the road's still you know.
I know it was
It's probably getting close to where you can get back in there finally, but
probably still.
it's had, at least recently, it's still been iced in, getting in there or whatever and stuff like that.
Okay, that's fine. That's it for me. Any questions? We are gonna fill up this year. We do have plenty of water in the mountains.
We're sending it down to you.
I bet.
Got a question for you guys, and maybe Adam too, just, I mean, the threat of mussels, quagga mussels, zebra mussels, you know, what are they, and what's the closest contaminated site? Do we have a lot in Montana? Places that
They test Canyon Ferry, it's zebra mussels is what they're, it had kind of a,
Suspect, really.
Suspect, yeah.
yeah, suspect tests too. They didn't find anything last year. 2 years ago, they had a suspect test. Tiber Reservoir, I believe it was.
They had a repetitive,
Positive, I don't know if they found anything again last year or not, so.
all they found so far is veligers, little microscopic
Yeah.
larvae. So they haven't been able to find any adults or beyond the veliger stage. But Tiber did get 2 positive hits. Canyon Ferry got 1 suspect positive hit. They haven't been able to repeat it though. They go 3 years with negative tests, and then you come back out of the suspect. And then for Tiber, they have to go 5 years with negative tests.
Those are funded, are they funded solely by Fish, Wildlife and Parks, or is it a
We do.
partnership?
Reclamation does testing too, along with FWP.
Testing, meaning, but the cleaning station,
Yeah, I
Or
think,
decontamination
fisheries handles
No,
that, but
cleaning.
if I remember right, they did get some, actually, the state appropriated some money, if I remember right, also for the AIS. The big thing is, we picked up, I don't know, 15 to 20 boats last year that were coming into the state from out of state that did have adult mussels on them or whatever, so that's, the big thing is just try to catch the guys coming in from out of state, that, those states that have, adult populations or whatever and stuff. But like Lee said, we'll, at least for the next, I guess this would be year 2 in regard to that 3-year continued check-in or whatever and stuff like that. Hopefully, it turns out they don't find anything or not. But
And here they're checking when they're coming out already,
yeah.
that they're clean, drained, and dried. They're checking, we're not going in, just coming out. Of course, state boundaries, they're checking them coming in to the state, and big fishing tournaments and stuff like that. You get people from all over the country coming in with boats, and people from Canada and everywhere, so it becomes a big issue.
I do have, there's the applications and the information bulletin on those recreation permits.
Thank you. Hey Scott, did that application have the location defined on it?
I have
Is
not,
it-
no, I have not received a filled out application, that's a blank one.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about the very northeast corner there of that section, 10 acres, which is, can be carved out pretty easily, but, yeah, it's, you guys are the ones that would have to make application. I'm just
Okay.
kind of responding to the interest from the search and rescue folks. So.
The, and this is, I'm glad Lee's here too, the trust board, spoke with search and rescue, and for this project, they would like them to coordinate into the silos plan, the master plan that we just finished. So we'll have to kind of coordinate all the groups around that and see how to move forward,
Your,
but,
let me see this. The chunk of land would just be west of the airport, right?
You're right.
On the other side of the road. Or east, I'm sorry. South.
One of those
I'm all
directions.
confused. The only one I haven't said is north. I know it's north.
It's
understand.
right there. That's what I'm saying, it's the
Yeah.
very northeast corner right here, okay?
Kind of right up by where all the campgrounds are.
Right,
Type deal.
right.
Okay, that's what, yeah, we got the fence going right there.
So I don't know if it could, I mean, it seems like it might, I don't know where the shoreline is and the high water mark is, but.
No, we're way above that. Way above that, okay.
would that work, Lee, more at the northeast corner? Would that be close enough to the master plan?
Well,
Give you the map.
without discuss it again, but, it might come clear out of that master plan and as far as the recreation area, cause
And they want this here?
No, it's 10 acres right here.
Oh, okay. All right, well, that might be close enough.
That's gonna be
Fairly
just
close.
outside of the fly zone of that airport.
yeah, exactly. And there was discussion before about building permanent structures within the landing zone or fly zone of the
Yeah.
runway there.
Right.
And so that's what excluded a lot, we were like, oh man, we can't put there, we can't put this there, we can't put this. But I think that would be just west of that.
Yeah,
I mean, you can apply it anywhere you want, that's up to you guys. So.
that's pretty much where they were headed, was right to that corner, so they could be down by the lake.
Yeah, you're only, what, 30 seconds from a boat launch here, or
Yeah.
a boat launch?
Yeah,
I don't know, did they put it on Bureau Rec?
Well, that's,
Right there too?
We-
I don't know what makes most sense.
with that landing zone, with that runway, you got an exclusion zone there to kinda trapezoids out from the end of the runway, where you can't have permanent structures there.
Hmm.
And like Mike was saying, so we bounced around a few things, we're gonna try to put it inside the silo, but if I remember right, now I'm not, we'd have to go back and look at it over again, but I don't think, there was something that wasn't matching up right there. We couldn't figure something out. This might be a way we could do it though.
Right, yeah, double check with the airport,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if it's, well, I don't know what the plans are for a search and rescue, but this might be a quicker avenue too. Where you could have something in place in a year or two or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's right over here, probably this gray area.
Oh, okay.
But the trapezoid's out, see, over here, kind of around that trapezoid. Planes coming in and they want permanent fixtures there.
It seems like anywhere along the side of the road, it would go for
Yeah, it's your big chunk of land, yeah. They probably want it close they can get it, but, you know, which would be that corner.
Did you have any questions for me on access roads for Joe Schmaus or anything like that?
Yeah,
No.
what's the situation?
We did get your response, so
Okay.
thanks for that, and the status is that the county attorney still wants to investigate, so we're kind of just in a holding pattern, but it looks like, what they've targeted is the land going through Cliff Cox's ranch.
Yeah. If you want.
Cliff was in this morning, left.
I brought these maps, might as well use
Oh,
them. Here's the,
good, okay, thanks, Mike.
kind of shows this proposed right away that's before us. And where the lands are with the deed restrictions. I think I sent that to you.
You did,
So,
yeah.
Like it's all safe.
Well, it's private land, it's a patented land.
Keeping it on for a couple of years.
Cliff
Thanks,
was in,
Mike.
left this on your desk while you were meeting today.
So essentially everywhere he has this road, except for a half of a section and then some BOR ground is under restrictions of no right of way, right?
Correct.
So what if that road already pre-existed?
Well, it didn't, but even if it had, there was nothing in the deed that reserved the right of access across that road. So there, you know, I mean, when we had the title search done, when we acquired the McMaster property, there were no easements or reservations for that road.
Yeah, your information helps, thank you.
Have you Forest Service guys been in the hills at all? Any idea what your roads are looking like?
We're still got snow on most, I know we were just burning up in Favorite Gulch up by York and they're pretty mucky. They did a lot of hiking in, but I know we still got a lot of snow still up in, we're kind of the higher elevation piece. We were out checking the BLM unit up in South Elkhorns here and it was getting pretty mucky, so they kind of parked down there by the transfer station and hiked up into those pieces, those things. We do have our watershed hydro folks coming down to the LEPC meeting. They kind of talk about what kind of conditions we have in the hills, and kind of, we're looking at kind of the historical year, as of late was 2011, when we had avalanche washout, magpie, all those, and kind of making sure that we're not having, or see if we can predict if we're gonna have the same event. A lot of that was rain over the snow that kind of pushed some of it out, but, and they've been kind of tracking past fires what we had. So I know Cabin Gulch, that fire up in Cabin Gulch hasn't completely revegetated in the last couple of years, so if we do get some push, we'll still maybe get a little bit of running off that piece, but, yeah, so I think we're gonna try to meet the next LEPC meeting, kind of do a presentation of what we're thinking for the big of the bus. So,
It's Thursday, 1 o'clock, Forest Service conference room, local emergency planning committee.
Thanks.
Anybody else have anything? Anything else for
What
anybody?
these gentlemen?
One more, are we planning on getting back together around June timeframe? Okay. Talked to Dan already, we plan on having our annual public meeting, probably July timeframe. July, August timeframe. We'll be putting out announcements for that, emails and all that.
Will that be the concessionaires meeting?
Excuse me?
The concessionaires meeting, is that the one you're talking about in July?
Well, yeah, we have concessionaires up there, we bring FWP in, law enforcement, a little mix match of everybody.
Okay.
We do have agreement with the Forest Service law enforcement. They do some work for us, especially on the more, I guess, less traveled paths, yeah, the Duck Creek and all that stuff back in there, Confederate, areas like that. They mainly hit those pretty hard for us. But yeah, we'll have everybody there, and both FWB enforcement and people for the muscle program and stuff like that. Bring them all in, just like last year.
Okay. Sounds good.
thank you guys.
Thank you. Mike, nice to meet you, welcome.
Yes, nice to meet all of you, look forward to working with all of you.
One other thing that we have is the dam will be closed next 4 days up there for some repair, so that irrigation valves going back in. So we might have heard on the radio that it should be shut down. Tuesday, tomorrow through Friday.
That's not something we'll really notice though, is it?
Not
I mean,
down here, not so much.
Just
Okay.
in case, if somebody's asking.
no,
Just 8 to
appreciate
4,
that,
yeah.
yeah,
Let the buses go through in the morning, let them go through in the evening,
Just be
8 to 4.
okay. Oh, you'll close the bridge,
Yes.
The dam.
yeah, okay, all right,
Roadway across the dam, I should say, yeah.
right.
So, if all goes well, with the dam not going fast.
Right, cross your fingers.
So you want 70 ton of metal look like, you can come up there and look.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, you guys. Yes.
Hey, Scott,
Yeah.
did you guys ever have any
Oh, but I have
conversation
an
with
email. Okay, I can get.
Well, since I seen you.
NRC?
Yes, yes.
How's your irrigation district down there?
Oh, still there.
Well, you get ready to start pumping in a month or
Yeah, just about, yeah, just.
Till that transformer goes poof.
You got that other one online, don't you? Ready to come in?
Scott's last
The
name.
spare?
H-A-I-G.
Man, that stuff's good. Till July timeframe, we go.
G-R-O-V-E. Hey Dan, how do we spell your last name?
It's STRENCHA.
Do we wanna hold it, we had a couple other things, I didn't wanna necessarily bring them up here for you. Just a couple other questions, maybe a short meeting here.
Thank you.
If that'd be okay with everybody.
Yeah.
Sure.
You sent me an email about gazebos.
Yeah, the letter we have authorizing the go-ahead is not real clear, so Sharon asked if she could get a more definitive yes in writing.
We did get the CEC approved, which is category exclusion. That's just your, basically a NEPA document. And we had locations, the old gazebo's highlighted in green here at this point, and that, now, in the planning meeting, those meetings, we had said we might wanna consider putting all joint use or gazebo type structures in one area. Do we still wanna do that? I mean, is this gonna be, are these two places gonna be in accordance with our planning? Here, this one's easier to see. We're gonna, it was mentioned at one time about probably putting this one over here somewhere, so we could have all of our, kinda like group use shelters in one area.
I don't think that was in the final plan, which of course we all haven't gotten yet.
Yeah, we're nowhere near there yet.
Right.
We've got a budget plan.
But I do think that moving this one back, and so that she was kind of willing to look at prioritizing number 2 this year, even though this one is in dire need and heavily used.
Yeah.
But to maybe do number 2 this year, and then plan on this one
Because
next year, or moving it if she could.
if we move it, we are gonna have to go back to NEPA.
Right, so can she just do number 2 this year and just not do number
Yeah,
1 yet?
we just have to send it, somebody's just gonna have to give me an exact location here.
Well, it's already there. It's in the same footprint that's already there. She just wants to put it on top of it. And she sent the plans last year.
Yeah, and
Can we do that?
You can put it on top of the same footprint, that's no problem. I thought you said she wanted to move it back.
No, instead of doing this one and
Oh.
number 2, she's saying let's just do number 2 this year, so maybe it's here. And wait on this one until next year.
We could do that, that's fine.
Okay,
Because it's already been it's basically cleared for environmental compliance, so
Okay.
we're already, yeah.
she may have to solidify this one just for safety purposes. I'm not sure what the plan is there. I'll let you know if something changes there, but, yeah, so that's what she's
Okay.
kinda looking at.
All right.
All right,
How does that fit into the overall plan, then? Would they, when we make the big build out and stuff, or is this something that we're gonna do and then change?
no, that's the whole thing. That's the whole reason for going to the other gazebo and not doing the one that's mostly used right now. There's too many people that are swimming in front of the boats going out of the bay. So until we get some dredging done, that can't be fixed. But until we implement this, which is a couple of years, we've still got a dilapidated gazebo that's gonna hurt somebody,
Sure.
and kids swimming in front of the boat. So how do you marriage
Well,
the long-term
could-
plan with the short-term safety issues? That's what we have to grapple with,
yeah,
so.
we
yeah, if you
could
guys have
take it
ideas.
back, if we wanted to, we'd have to come to some kind of consensus on this. Is we replace this one this year, so that's done. And then we'll have to look at maybe possibly moving this one over here, getting the clearance through NEPA and environmental compliance for an area over here somewhere, moving that over there. That way you take them swimming kids away from that, yeah, that, out there where all the boats are launched, you take them back and you move them over here. And then, no, we've talked about dredging out these other bays, Engineer Bay, and I don't remember all their names now, but that's in that, part of that plan, you know, we've thrown out there is to get them
Yeah.
dredged out, move some boats over that way, move some swimming somewhere else.
Yeah,
But that's just a possibility if we want to move that way.
Our problem is, in the next year or two, that's the most popular gazebo, and it's the one used for the walleye tournament. So, yeah, there's gonna be some pushback on that.
Well, yeah, it's just something we're gonna have to talk about then.
Yeah. But thank you for the number 2, I'll let Sharon know, she can go ahead and get on it.
Yeah, that
Okay.
shouldn't be any issue. Now, is she, do you know if she's still looking at trying to put that KOA up for sale?
Mhm.
Is she still actively, I don't know, pursuing that, or?
Yeah, maybe you and I could talk this afternoon, I don't want to say too much on camera, because I don't think it's public domain.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Now, there was an email earlier this year about trailers exceeding their 14-day stay limit there. The same 2 trailers have been there since right around the 10th of December.
Ever since?
I've had pictures of
Because
them.
she actually looked into that at the time that she got the email and said that they actually were not in violation. So I can follow up with her about,
Every month I have
December?
pictures of them on
It's the same.
almost the same day, the same
Same
2
one.
trailers, same locations.
okay, is this the email that was sent by,
Yeah, this is
Is it
January,
Al?
February, yeah, Al started it, and
Okay.
then there was responses back to it, okay, these guys have moved everything, but I've got repetitive pictures of them each month that they're still there, still the same location.
okay, I'll stop by and see
You
Sharon.
know, when they're there, they're always plugged in there too, right? You know, if there's some electricity, which I assume you guys are paying.
That's why our electrical bill at the silo is $295 a month.
There you go.
And then they just run an extension cord over, which, are they overloading that circuit as well? I mean, that might be something to really look into, because if they're overloading that circuit and you got 3 or 4 or 5 campers plugged into a 110 outlet, you know, you could have issues there
Sure,
with electrical issues, you know, something, so. 'Cause
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
think that obviously they're not running air conditioners and stuff like that, but, which would take your main load, but, you know, even the heaters and stuff, they're still a 110 fan, but it's still enough of those on one circuit, you know. And I'm sure that their cords are not rated for that kind of stuff, so it would be something to, you know, I'd hate for a fire to happen there, so.
sure.
so,
Yeah, no, I'll go down and talk to Sharon about that.
When the gazebo goes up in flames, all 4 of them campers, or 2 of them campers are gonna burn too.
Are they at number 1?
Hmm?
Are they at number 1, those trailers?
Number 2, the one further south,
Okay,
number 2, I guess.
all
And, you
right,
know, and even where they're parked is really not a camper location, you know, to be
Right.
parked, so.
Is there anything else you want to bring up there? So let's stay, gazebos. I think it's about it.
you want a formal letter on the tables?
Okay, there's another thing. We don't have any concrete tables. What I might be able to scrounge up is a few frames.
Tom said you were gonna order some.
No, we didn't get that contract. We haven't got, we're still not on the budget yet.
Oh, man.
They still can't pass the federal budget.
Oh, well, yeah, we're still waiting on half of ours too.
So,
I sympathize.
Yeah.
Okay, so, what do you have?
all we have is a few frames, old metal frames, but they would have to be put back together with wood planks on, you know, you have to buy the wood planks for the top and everything. That's really all we have.
So when you get your budget, can we be kinda, up there as far as a priority for that truckload of tables?
I don't know when that would even go through. Because our procurement, something big like this, would cut off in May or June.
Uh-huh,
And if that contract hasn't already been pushed through by then, you're waiting for the next FY. That's just how messed up it gets. And we haven't been able to do any big purchases yet, simply because we don't have the funding, permanent funding there to justify it. A few small things are continuing, like option year contracts that were already in place. We can keep doing that for services like garbage collection, vault toilet pumping. We can keep doing that. But new procurement and something of that size of tables, we were talking anywhere between 20 and 50 grand. Yeah, just a matter of waiting until they get something in place that's permanent.
Okay, I'll ask her about the metal tables. Fire rings. Any?
I was trying to get hold of Stuart before I left, he's my supervisor for the rec crew. I don't know if we have any or not, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
We had a couple years ago, but now I'm not even sure if we have any. We haven't ordered any for a while. We did a couple specific larger fire rings for group use shelters at White Earth and Hellgate. But that was one fire ring here, one there. And they were the bigger type for, where you get a whole group of people around them. But other than that, we haven't ordered anything.
Okay.
But we can keep scrounging around, see if we can find anything up there. I don't know.
Well, it's hard to, have gone to Sharon and said, hey, Tom just said that we can get a truckload of tables, and now 2 months from opening the doors, or one, for the campground, there's no tables. It's hard for her to run a business when she's got a solid yes that turns into a no 6 months later.
Yeah.
So I understand the position you're in, but it's hard to do that to business owners that are trying to provide a service locally. And then to come down on them when they don't follow every single rule to the T. It's like, it's a one-way street from their perspective, and I understand that frustration that they have. So, if you don't have them, you don't have them, but
Might not
that
have
just
a
makes
job
it
this
tough.
Friday if they don't
Yeah.
pass the budget.
Yeah, it goes up again. We can look and see what we have.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it, whatever you guys can do.
I know-
It's
I know
hard to-
last-
Might not be the greatest things, but
I
they're.
remember seeing, we had the metal frames,
Maybe
you
plank, but.
just have to buy the planks of wood, to put on top. But I don't know how many we have.
How many do you guys have left down there?
Well, she was expecting a truckload, so
Oh, and
however
how many do
many
you
that
have?
is, how many she has left, I don't know. Some of them are in rough shape. I know Terry's been doing a heck of a good job keeping some of them
Fixed up.
very nicely fixed up, to the extent that he can. But they're not really in a position to be able to just buy the picnic tables you and I can enjoy in our backyards. They need more of the stately, and BOR has said you have to have more of the stately picnic tables. Well, then you're looking at an awful lot of money to replace them, so she was kinda counting on that this year. I'll talk to her about the metal frames and, kinda let her know. And then I will also give you a call this week about any updates I can share.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright.
All right. Commissioners, you have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys, too nice to
Talk
meet
to
you,
you
Dan.
Yeah.
See, there's one other thing we got here, playing from the trust board for a gift card for $100 to Kim Martinson for being on the board, I guess, but I don't know if we, most of the limit's 50 on them. And if we start giving everybody on the board a gift card, we're gonna be broke.
The $50 is the code of ethics. In the definition states that a gift is no more than $50.
April.
What's that? No, we just deny the claim.
What I would suggest after this decision, but maybe we need, a policy. What is it that boards can do? Some of them pay mileage, some of them don't, some of them will have certain events where they will buy pizza. Some of them have been challenged, some others haven't. Is there a protocol for a thank you gift for somebody who's getting off a board? do we wanna put something like that together so that all our boards have the same information, all treated equitably, there's not favoritism for one against another, and we avoid this kind of uncomfortable situation?
Well, I think we should definitely establish some kind of written policy. What's gonna do what.
Absolutely.
Wow, what a day, you guys.
Yeah.
Huh?
If you would like to, I mean, if you wanna make a decision on this, we can adjourn the meeting and then just have a casual conversation.
Okay.
But yeah, we can, I think we should actually do a policy and put that on the agenda.
Okay. So we'll adjourn the meeting at,
What's,
2:08.
any decision on that?